Welcome to the Prosperity Profiles Podcast, sponsored by Prosperity Profilers, LLC. They'll help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. We hope you listen often, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Now, here's your host, four-time #1 best-selling author, speaker, and business coach, Holly Porter.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another day at the podcast. I have another 40/40 rules book author with me, Meredith Allen Gordon. How are you today?
Fabulous.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear. Well, I'm excited that you're part of the book for one.
Well, thank you. It's been a really interesting challenge, so I'm loving it.
Yeah, challenges are good, right?
Oh, always.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I'm glad that you're going to join us in part of that. So a little bit more about you. You were born in central Wisconsin, and you grew up in East San Diego County. You're a small business owner, entrepreneur, a volunteer, a wife, and a mother. You hold a Bachelor of Science, Office Automation Business Administration, and Master of Science Information Technology from Coleman University, as well as a Master in Business Administration from Capella University. That is a mouthful. Holy
Oh,
cow.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, and along with that education, you have vast experience within retail, technology, insurance, and real estate industries.
Yes.
You're a multitasker extraordinaire, balancing your new paparazzi accessories business. And you're also, of course, in the book. So you're a new co-author and hopefully a best-selling author very shortly. And let's see, you live in Las Vegas and you've been married for 19 years and counting, mom to a 14-year-old son and fur babies, as well as caring for the well-being of your in-laws that reside with you and your family.
Oh, yeah. We have a house full of crazy, but it's all good.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's, you know what? It's that time. Our parents are all aging, and I'm noticing my friends, we're all starting to have, our parents have elderly issues because they're elderly now. So
Yeah.
that's okay, right?
Oh, definitely. It's a challenge, but, like I said, challenges are good. So, we go through it day by day.
So my question to you that's on my mind after reading your bio, why 2 masters?
Okay, so I had originally started out in high school, or actually in junior high, having to make decisions about, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? And at that time, I wanted to do marine mammal behaviorism. And while I was in high school, I was able to intern and do college and high school simultaneously. But not only did I do high school level work, bachelor level work, but I was also doing graduate study work at Hubs Research, which is the backside of SeaWorld.
Oh.
And in the process of that, played with sharks, played with the orcas, played with the dolphins, spent all this research time and stuff doing what I absolutely loved, all before the age of 18.
Wow.
And after high school, what ended up happening was the state of California started changing the way they did their education process. And so in the process of trying to do a biology degree, they dumped the state of California. You would receive letters from the state saying your class is no longer valid, therefore you must take something else. Well, in order to maintain full-time student status, I was picking up business classes and realizing, holy crap, I could do this easier and faster and still maintain, a higher GPA. So it ended up switching from being a purely science background to a more business and technology management background from an education perspective. And so when I was at Coleman in San Diego, I had finished my bachelor's degree and was just started my master's degree for an MBA with technology management undertones, and they dumped the program. Well, my stepmother at the time was doing the same program, and my general feeling was if she could do it, then heck, I could do it. But I was tired of writing papers and research and everything else. So I chose to take a COM 500 class, 800 unit class, which was Unix shell programming. And I choked. I mean, I graduated by the skin of my teeth, with that degree, but I can manage your technology. I can, you know how to do it. I can take geekies and translate it into upper managementese, and it has served me well in finding employment and finding, being able to help manage technology here in our home as well as for other small businesses. So yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was crazy, but you adapt, you overcome, you prevail.
This is true. So what about your military background?
Well, I grew up military. I grew up Navy. My father was in the Navy. He is retired, and then he became a professor, and now he's a retired Navy, retired vet, retired professor, retired everything. But
just tired.
He's just retired. But from that is a deep-seated appreciation for our military and for our military families. I was blessed that my mom and dad were always, for the most part, in San Diego. We weren't bounced all over like other families were. We always had our home in San Diego for the most part. So as an adult, later on, I ended up helping my girlfriend who left the Navy. Her husband at the time was still Navy. After she ended up having her children, with two of them with autism. And they were polar opposite autism spectrum disorder. So one's at one end of the spectrum, one's at the other end. And there was no respite care for for Navy families. The Army had it, but there was no respite care for our military dependents. And so between my friend Michelle Pritchard and I helped her launch her original support team and program out of Bremerton, Washington. And then we helped fight the Department of Navy, the Armed Services Committee, and helping her get into those critical appointments that she needed to meet with our lawmakers in order to fight for respite care, just respite care for our military families. And in the process of that, respite care was approved, as well as an autism project within the Navy, as well as another family helped fight for Down syndrome children. And that has progressed in allowing benefits for our families, for our service members whose dependents are severely disabled.
Wow.
So that was fun, and it still is, and I still support it, and I still do when and where I can to help our vets. And that in of itself led to more recently helping vets understand their death benefits, as far as they get burial benefits at cemeteries, but they do not have funeral benefits. And that is a huge misconception with our military. They do not have funeral benefits. So they still need to find and figure out how are they going to do their final wishes, whether it be through estate planning, going through a place like Dignity Memorial and getting your pre-need done, or any other place that gets your pre-need done, and then pre-registering with your cemeteries of choice for burial, because they will do burial. They get their burial benefits, but they do not get funeral benefits. And that's one of the other big causes we've been working on here in the Vegas Valley, because there's a huge misconception about that.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm sure our listeners didn't know. Wow, that could be a whole show in itself.
Yeah, it could be. But those are just things that through growing up Navy that have stemmed what I have become passionate about over the years. So,
well, I know you had some major surgery last summer. And you guys just have had like one thing after another. It seems like, like life things that happen to people once in a lifetime, you guys have had all together. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Oh, sure, definitely. So 2 years ago, I chose to do gastric bypass surgery. And that was, I am a diabetic. I have been. We already know that I have a genetic defect in my pancreas in which it will fail. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So as a result of that, I chose to do a very difficult decision to do gastric bypass surgery. And that was 2 years ago. Surgery was a great success. I have lost a lot of weight with that, but I ended up having a very rare, weird, strange complication. I had one of the not sutures, but staples, the internal staples that creates the new lining for the new stomach, or what's called a pouch, and come dislodged and start cutting into the lining of the new stomach area. Well, that's not good. It's, you need to have that fixed. So I had to go in and have revision surgery. So on July 5th of this year, I had revision surgery. And as a result of the revision surgery, they go in and they tighten everything up even more. So your 4-ounce stomach is now 3.5 ounces. So that was a huge adjustment. But exactly 1 week later, I ended up with a ruptured appendix and was septic. And the surgeon had told me that if I had waited another hour or so, I would probably be dead, because it would have been gone past the point of no return for being able to prevent organ and system shutdown. So as a result of that, we had, 2 major abdominal surgeries back to back. And as I'm sitting in my living room trying to decide, okay, well, this means, I can't work for a while. And I was working with Dignity Memorial, which is Palm Mortuary here in the Valley. And while I absolutely am passionate and love that position and the people I worked with and worked for and helped in the community, we had another monkey wrench thrown at us with my father-in-law's diagnosis of stage 4 metastatic prostate cancer, stage 4 renal failure, and congestive heart failure. On top of his being a diabetic, him being born with spinal bifida and already having spinal cord issues and challenges through his life, but also a 20-year survivor of a massive heart attack 20 years ago, along with triple bypass. So basically, he's a hot mess. And we now know all the diagnosis is done and everything, but in the process of my own healing and recovery and handling him, getting him to from back forth everywhere for diagnosis, what was I going to do to help bring income into my family? Well, I found paparazzi jewelry, and I absolutely love it. Not that I ever wanted to go back into retail, because after 13 years of retail, I was done. I was done with the corporate ladder. I was done with everything. And that's why I went back into high tech, because I could go in, do my job, go home and go to bed, or be a mom or whatever. But for now, I found it and I'm like, you know what, this is fun. It's jewelry. It's inexpensive. It's $5 earring necklace sets, ring, earring stuff. It's fun jewelry, let a nickel free. And I could do it. I launched a business from my recliner in my living room. Literally, I went online to my friend Lisa, who is part of eWomen Network, who I met her there. And I'm like, you know what? I could do this. This is easy. It'll be fun. It'll be, so that's what I did. So, and then when my mom and my nieces were here in July, at the end of July, a week and a half after me being, shut down with 2 major abdominal surgeries, I did a mini launch of my business from my bedroom, and that's how I launched this business. And since then, it's been little events here and there, because I'm still recovering. I'm still trying to get, dad taken care of and life taken care of, and still be a mom, still be a wife, still be, that scout volunteer mom when and where I can, and getting back into the swing of some semblance of normalcy and running a business. And it's been a lot of fun. And also writing the book. That was another thing that totally reached me outside my comfort zone. And it was fun. And I'm really enjoying this whole process. So.
And you'll have a whole bunch of new friends.
Oh yeah, lots of new friends. Made a lot of new friends in this book, and got to meet some fabulous women that are just amazing. And I've learned so much, and just since July,
yeah,
so much that it's totally helped me gain that, I'm gonna, live and die by my calendar, but in the process,
That's
still
right.
have fun, still do something new, reach outside my comfort zone, grow, expand, and be that example for my own son to say, look, no matter how hard life is and how hard it gets, you just get up and do it. You go out, you do it, you do the work. And it's
Yes, no pity parties. Right. Well, it's just so our listeners understand. So this is a book series, and as of November 29th, 2018, when we launched the 40/40 Volume 2, then there'll be 110 authors in the book series. And so there's a Facebook page where the authors can, collaborate and communicate on there. And then when they launch, I move them over to the main rules book page. And so they haven't even been introduced to the other 70 women yet that are already authors in there. And actually there'll be a little bit less, because 2 authors in this book were actually in the first one, but they're different questions because it's a question and answer book. So they wanted to do it again. I'm like, okay, sure. They had a fun time doing it the first time. They wanted to do it again. So yeah, 2 of them I let do that.
And the questions this time were interesting for me, because it's like, how do I answer these? Because it's like, I know how to answer for myself, but what would I say to somebody who doesn't know me, and why would they want to talk to me? Well, as my very dear friend this morning said, she goes, oh my God, you're the most outgoing person I know, and everybody loves you. And I went, okay, well, that's nice, but that doesn't translate into a book.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it translates,
there's a lot of
into answering questions and going outside that comfort zone, and being able to say, okay, reflect back on your life. You have a lot to offer. And I've done so much in my life. I did so much in my life by the time I was 22 that people haven't even done in their lifetime that I had already done.
Right.
So it's interesting from that point. And now from the point of, I have finally gotten to that point where I thought, well, maybe my life has settled down now. It's going to change. Yeah, no. We're going full speed ahead. And
and this, you've been very successful, but this book really it's about wisdom. And that's what a lot of the authors that question, should I be in it? Am I good enough? We all, that chatter in our head. And the thing is, any woman that's lived 40 years or longer, and we have women, by the way, from 40 to 85 in the book. Right. So any woman that's lived that long has some wisdom to share. It's not about how successful you are, how much money you make. That's not what the book's about. That's not what I created it for. It's to share with the younger generations what you know about life and what you've experienced so far and how you've done that. And voila, there you go.
Yeah. And our other big thing is that we just, keep moving forward. And that's always been my thing. No matter how bad life gets, no matter how bad situations are. And I have been in some really horrible situations in my life, but you still stand up, you pull up your bootstraps, and you go, okay, well, I'm not dead. Nobody died. And, I'm not going to kill anybody. So that's a good thing.
Not today.
It's like those, the doctor asks, do you have suicidal tendencies? No, they're all homicidal. And it's because I'm frustrated. I need to find something more productive. So
you can't cure stupid.
Let me go swim a few laps and we'll be good.
Yeah.
But, right. It's just one of those things where, life is happening and it's good. It's messy. It's fun. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You pick it up, you move forward, and it's just the way it goes. And I just take each day's challenge as exactly that. It's a challenge. It needs to be met. It needs to be addressed. How do you address it? And then you move forward. And I have been very blessed with an amazing support system, a family and friends that are family.
Yeah.
Through the years, to be able to bounce off of, turn to, and be able to know that life is okay, and things, even when they're bad and dark and bleak, that it's not the end of the world,
Be a problem solver, not a problem creator.
Right. And, there's enough drama in the world, and I am up to my eyeballs in drama and other people's drama. My drama always seems to be, finally nice and quiet until the summer. And then it's like, Murphy reared his ugly head and said, yeah, no, we're going to play, and we're going to play hard. So you haven't had any drama for a couple of years, so let's just mess with you. So
Well, okay, we are about out of time, but I know you're doing real estate right now. You're going to be working that part-time. You've been involved in that off and on for quite a few years.
Right.
Anything else that's coming up you want to share with the listeners?
Right at this moment, we are just having fun with the paparazzi accessories and the jewelry, and just having lots of fun doing events for the holidays. The real estate will eventually take care of itself, as far as another adventure going back into the field with my friend Lynette Martin with, Performance Realty out of Las Vegas here, who I've worked for her previously, and now I get to go back home. Basically, it's a lot of fun to think about that.
Okay, so the paparazzi, how would they get a hold of you? We'll put your information down in the show notes as well, but go ahead and state it. And what's the best way to get a hold of you? Do you have a Facebook page?
I have Mare's Bling, MERES BLING Facebook page. I have the link there to you, as well as paparazziaccessories.com/205564, and that takes you right to the page directly. This month we have great customer appreciation, $35 of any of our products, and you get this gorgeous pendant free, necklace and earring pendant. It's perfect for Christmas, for holidays, for yourself, for anybody, for a gift for a sister, friend, cousin, whatever. Business associates, whatever. I mean, whether you wear the jewelry or not, it's inexpensive and it's fun. $5 jewelry. You can't.
I own quite a few pieces, and I love jewelry. I love costume jewelry, and you know, it's not. Some people think, it's just cheap. Well, I mean, there's always pieces that are, but the ones I have done really well. So
yeah, I love it. I have the earrings on now. I got this lovely little lanyard necklace. I like this one. This one's one of my favorite pieces. It says love on the sides.
Oh.
And there's some rings here, and it has different cool little things. And it's just, there's so much fun stuff out there. There's big dramatic pieces. There's, simple dainty pieces, and it's just fun. Anybody can get it, and everybody can afford it. So that's part of the reason why I went this route. So,
what shoe were you in my shoe quiz?
I'm sorry, what?
You remember what shoe you were in my shoe quiz?
I wasn't there for the shoe quiz.
Oh,
I was at home dying, remember?
I got to send it to you. Yeah.
But I don't have a shoe. I didn't do this shoe quiz, but I could tell you what my shoes are. I have boots.
No, it's not about the shoes. Everyone always says that.
I know that. I'm teasing.
It's not about the shoe.
Well, my shoe fits, and I walk in them very long and hard. So yeah.
That's fun. Well, you've said fun many times, so that's why I ask you, because I'm pretty sure I know what shoe you are, but we'll figure it out together.
Oh,
well,
definitely.
okay. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the show today, and thank you, listeners, for joining us again. Once again, come back and visit often, and make sure you subscribe. We would love to have you here, and we will see you again on another day at the podcast. Thanks, Meredith.
Thanks.
Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Prosperity Profiles Podcast, sponsored by Prosperity Profilers, LLC, helping you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. We hope you enjoyed our time together, and we'll visit again soon. You can learn more about Prosperity Profilers by going to hollyporter.com.